Look, Steven, I respect your passion, man. I really do. And I'm not saying it is impossible, but from a financial standpoint, making an MMO game of this scale today is like going to Vegas casino hoping to make it big. I'll give props to your vision and willingness to fund your dream, especially compared to today's corporate gaming landscape, where everything is decided by committee. So it is a dream, sure, but after dream, you usually wake up. I'm not saying it is impossible to make a good game. It's not, but it is hard. And making a good game that is also profitable is even harder. Making a good MMO game that will bring profits over a decade or more? Forget the stars, the entire universe needs to align. The MMO genre today isn't a field where passion translates into profit. It is a graveyard of overfunded dreams. Do we even need to list big names that tried, hundreds of millions of dollars invested, only to crash and burn? Star Wars Galaxies and the Old Republic, the Halo, project that never even launched but still lost $100 million, Hellgate London by ex-Blizzard employees, The Matrix Online, Lord of the Rings Online but by Turbine, who had success with Echelon's Call, Age of Conan from Anarchy Online team, Richard Garrott's Tabula Rasa, Warhammer Online, New World by Amazon, Lost Ark, with amazing gameplay loop and highly polished game, successful domestically, but still struggled globally. The Secret World by Funcom, Vanguard, Saga of Heroes, led by several creators from the original EverQuest, one of the genre-defining titles. Need I to go on? The MMO market online today is mature and oversaturated. Most of the player base is locked into the established franchises, and convincing people to migrate is really hard. Development costs are massive. Players expect constant live service updates, endgame content, and stable servers. It is a genre that demands long-term funding before it can even start earning anything back. So, if the plan is to build a huge, full-featured, massively multiplayer online title to compete with the giants, it is practically a financial suicide. But if the plan is to create a smaller, persistent online world with clear niche or social loop, that can still be smart, if the costs and expectations stay realistic. I blame it all on World of Warcraft, by the way. It wasn't just a great game, it was a cultural phenomenon that bridged gaming with early social networking, something close to a proto-metaverse. After its enormous success and revenue it generated for Blizzard over decades, everyone tried to emulate it, but in my opinion, that moment has long passed. World of Warcraft arrived in a perfect cultural inflection point. Broadband internet, early social media, and casual PC gaming all converged. The world moved on. There will never be another World of Warcraft in that form, and competing with it means only fighting it on its home turf, where it is unbeatable. You're not just making a better game, you're trying to rival a world that already has history, culture, and social inertia. You can buy or develop that in 5 years or more, no matter how much money you spend. The cultural gravity that once drew millions into persistent fantasy world has now scattered into thousands smaller online spaces, Discord servers, cooperative sandboxes, live service shooters. World of Warcraft was the proto-metaverse. Modern players don't want another WoW. they already live inside its descendants. MMO games are expensive and extremely difficult to finish properly. When someone promises dynamic worlds that react to players, evolving content, large-scale systems, and deep social mechanics, there is always a huge gap between design vision and technical reality. Server architecture, user experience, content generation, performance balance, community management, all of it. So what would I do? How do you reduce the bloat, control the costs, and solve problems as they appear, while still making the game that people actually enjoy and that won't flop by the second week after release? By the way, this same advice applies to Star Citizen. If only they had listened early on, that game could have been incredible. Instead of burning pit of money from overzealous backers. Start small, build a game with addictive core gameplay that can be released quickly and cheaply, then scale up if the concept proves viable. Warframe did that successfully. Prototype several smaller interconnected projects and double down on one that shows the most promise. Maybe divide the big idea into separate games. One focused on the Ashes of Creation node system as standalone strategy or sandbox title. Another testing combat and PvP balance in small arena format. Maybe even a separate economic simulator of game released on Steam Early Access. Each of one could build an audience and validate systems before you roll them all into larger MMO online title in one big world later. Right now you're trying to build a cathedral before testing the bricks. Combat is the most important element. It needs to be fast, responsive, and skill-based as much as gear-dependent. That's hard to achieve in a MMO environment. Just by the nature of the genre and by the bandwidth demands of hundreds of simultaneous players. We live in a post-Dark Souls era, and players are spoiled by refined combat mechanics. This sucks for MMOs, but some Eastern titles have found a valid workaround. The tragedy of Ashes of Creation is that it's built like 2005 business model, a giant all-or-nothing gamble in a genre that demands massive sunk costs before you even know if players want what you're selling. By contrast, the smart 2020s approach is iterative validation. Build small, find the addictive loop, test engagement, and only scale what actually works. So, Steven, what do you do now? Is it too late? Are you stuck? Broke? Hopefully not. How will you proceed? I can't say, but I do not want to end this on a negative note. I wish you all the luck. Even if the odds are small, this world is built on small chances that somehow prevailed. They are everywhere around us. It is still a bad investment, no question about that. But you're not a financier. You are a gamer, a dreamer. And sometimes that's what moves the world forward. Psychoded out.